Well, hello there, guys. Welcome to some more War in the East. We are continuing off our last campaign, so I hope you guys are ready. And if Siri and Pixel want to take their old positions as generals here of the center, we can go ahead and do that. We can also start delegating some other general positions. But I think for this particular Let's Play, I'm really just going to try to move as quickly as possible with as little interference as possible here and see how we do. So first of all, we are still playing as the Germans, of course, and we're trying to break into Russia. Seems pretty straightforward, but it looks like most of the Russians, thanks to our blitzkrieg, have completely been cut off in this area. We've taken hundreds of thousands of prisoners, and now we're dealing with the remnants, guys. So we have to see how that goes. Alright, I'll turn the voice up. Let's see if that's better. Hopefully it is. Let's take a look, and now we are going to continue the offensive. So first things first, I'm going to send my infantry forward. And probably start taking out these units right here. We've got some anti-tank units on the road. Don't necessarily think they're going to come into contact with us, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. Let's see if this is better, guys. Let me know with the mic. Lots better. Awesome. Okay. So this is really just the initial stages of invasion. We've done pretty well. We've taken Vilnius on turn 1. I'll take that to the bank. And I guess we could keep moving. No, this area is just impassable. Just moving the infantry up right now. So if I look at Russia here, we definitely want to get to Vitebsk. We definitely want to get over here. And that is going to be Bishov. Smolensk also. So I think we're just going to keep on pushing the way we have before. The biggest issue for me is just going to have to be moving every single one of these infantry units up. It's going to be kind of a pain. But we've got to keep doing it. And there we go, capturing 4 tons of supply and 5 tons of fuel. Let's attack. Enemy fort level reduced, but the defending force is held. Let's put an end to that. First, though, I think we'll head to Minsk, which we've already taken, by the way, and engage any remaining Russian units here, especially tank divisions. There we go. Beautiful. Already routing some units. And the HQs are running away. Huh. Ooh, I see what we could do here. It's going to take a while, though. So for now, I'm just going to stay on the tracks. And once again, we're capturing tons and tons of fuel. Okay. Now, what do you guys want to do, my generals, Siri? Good afternoon, V-Redsters. So, Siri, what would you like to do here? This is like a Pixel saying, let's see if we can get to Smolensk today. Tall order. And of course, for those of you that don't know, we are going for the full campaign, just to see how well we can do. We're also giving some people control of certain generalships. So if you want one, we'll give it to you. And really the only rule is basically you just have to give very straightforward orders. We can't get too specific, unfortunately. We just kind of have to, be very, very straightforward. Let's move forward here. An example would be like attack this city or be aggressive in your attacks or something like that. Anything else and we're totally lost. Should be able to move. These guys know they have no movement points. Fair enough. I'm surprised that these Russians here are still holding out. Let's see if we can take them out. Wow, they actually held. I'm really surprised. Maybe with a concentrated attack here. And finally they surrendered. Wow, so that's 14,000 prisoners. Absolutely awesome. But our men are pretty much out of movement points. That's all they could do. And let's be honest, traveling through this countryside is not easy. There's so many swamps, all of this muddy ground. It's going to get worse. But this is just what we're starting with. Come on, men. Hope that our security forces can keep the enemy from behind our lines. That's going to be very important, I think. Alright, these guys are still kind of in supply, just barely. And I'm going to move the Air Force up as well. Nice, there we go, getting a lot of supply here to these units, guys. That's going to be very important here in the upcoming battle. Let's see if we can attack right now. I don't think so, and actually I would probably not advise it. So we'll hold back just for now, at least. The rest of these guys are going to have to wait a bit. And I'll send the security divisions up here a little bit. Feel the deeper we get into Russia, the more stuff we're going to encounter. And hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we definitely want to attack towards Rovno, Zhytomyr, Kiev. Getting to Kiev would be huge, but this particular front is really tough usually. Get this HQ up. Yeah, here the Russians are a lot tougher. See if we can get like a concentrated attack. Nope. At least we managed to cut them off with their tanks pretty much. I think we should keep trying to cut them off because they're quite a threat right now, or go for an attack. Let's stick to the former. So let's see, I could get to Rovno. Or we could further cut the enemy off here. Yeah, I think I'm going to go towards Stanislav. I know this is not that important a location, but what the hell. We'll probably pick up some supplies on the way since we've got a lot of retreating units. And if not, that's okay. I'll always wait just a little bit to get those supplies. Alright, let's try to do some bombing runs here. "63 men on the ground lost. We're doing our jobs." That's pretty good. We're probably going to have to wait till next turn, though, to get a decent attack here. And, of course, since they're cut off, that should be pretty easy. Make sure I'm not forgetting anyone. And again, with our southern front, we're probably not going to be doing much. As everybody's mentioned, this front is really just one you just kind of leave alone. There's no benefit, you know, it's primarily Romanians and Hungarians, and they just don't do a great job on the attack, unfortunately, on the offensive. Let's go ahead and move here. Right now, though, that army group center that was controlled by Siri is doing extremely well. So I'm really surprised. Hey, Dave Jishu, Kushan, good to see you guys. Yeah, sorry about that. We could put those overlays on top. Hold on a sec. We need to go ahead and get the browser source up here. There we go. Alright, guys. Let's see if we can get our security divisions over here right on the rail. And I'm going to try to get some more infantry over here, but these guys seem pretty tired. So we might have to actually let them rest for a bit, although that's probably not a good idea. Once again, though, Army Group Center is really the one that's the most composed at the moment and doing the best job, quite frankly. Okay, we've got some nice Panzer divisions here. What to do? Not a lot we can actually cut off here. We've cut off most of the enemy units, but I'm still going to try. And we can see here at Vitebsk, this is, of course, the main area we're trying to reach. There's a lot of swamps in front of Vitebsk, number one, and a ton of units. So we want to try to reach that line as quickly as possible. We know they're weak right now, and we need to make sure that we can defeat them very, very soon. So I am trying to get up there as quickly as possible. But it could take us a while, guys. It's not easy to get over to Vitebsk in the first place. Alright, we could hit one of their security divisions here. But I think I'm actually going to join my friend and keep attacking these infantry divisions. Okay. And hold on, we're getting a message here. So, we've been asked to turn the music off completely from the game. Let's go ahead and do that. No big deal to me. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. One second, guys. One second, guys. We just got a little issue going on here. Alright. Sorry about that. Let's take a look. Once again, trying to get as many men as I can towards Vitebsk. We can keep on cutting off the enemy, but at this point, they've got no supplies. And really, all we need to do is just mop the rest of them up. I think they'll probably surrender. And sure enough, well, they routed. Close enough. I would have liked to see more surrendered units, but I'll take a rout any day of the week. Let's see. I want to move this guy. Infantry unit. Let's go ahead and take on the Soviet-controlled 11th Rifle Division. And routed. Beautiful. A lot of Lebensraum here. Still got some infantry divisions we can move up and take on the Russian stragglers. So some of these guys we're probably going to have to move to the north. Even though we already have Riga, there are other locations up here. Tallinn, of course. Leningrad is up here. We do want to eventually get in that area, but I'm not sure I want to commit a lot of forces there. Let's attack. Yes! Yes, the tank division surrendered. 7,000 surrendered Russian tankers. Absolutely wonderful. We'll also move up the security division here. Keep our men safe. Here we go. And let's also move... No, I guess we're going to have to wait on that division. I wonder who's running the security division. So it's von Shenderkov. This guy is essentially the police commander, the military police commander here in this area. And we've still got another HQ that needs to move forward here. Gaia's HQ. So hopefully these guys get really well supplied next turn. They're doing the best out of any of our units at the moment. And that counts for a lot, obviously. These guys are doing pretty well, too, in the north. I think the only real unit that's kind of slacking, or army that's slacking, are our armies to the south, which we sort of anticipated. The fact is they're just not as strong as the armies to the north, and it's going to be harder to break through with them. There we go. Nice! We've got some more men to surrender. That is excellent. Also got a lot of guys at Vilnius. Keep on moving, boys. Send some more men forward. These guys are on the road to Vitebsk. There we go. Let's make sure that they're actually headed towards Vitebsk, and they are for sure. But there's definitely a lot of enemies there. We want to keep our eyes open. And let's grab these guys. Let's see. More HQs going forward to Vilnius. Why not? Alright, guys. Had to get some water there. Let's take a look. I think we've pretty much moved everybody at this point. I'd love to try to attack that tank, but I know it's not the best idea in the world. Nonetheless, I can't help myself. If nobody's going to join me for the attack, I definitely can help myself. In that case, we're going to wait. See if this guy will join. Okay, here we go. Come on, boys! Wow, the enemy actually held. We actually managed to do quite a lot of damage. 337 damage to their infantry, but that's not enough to justify that attack. Not even close. Let's get our main general up here. Von Rundstedt, the glorious von Rundstedt. And wait a minute, we've got another SS Motorized Brigade Division here. I definitely want to bring him up. Oh, I see he's got no movement points, so we're going to have to wait a bit for the SS Motorized Division to be able to move up. At this point, we'll see if we can do any attacks, but I really don't think we're going to do any attacks in that area. Alright, let's hope that we get a nice victory here. I'm going to end the turn and turn it over to the enemies. Let's hope for the best, man. So they're definitely trying to bring some supplies into this area. And these are, of course, cargo deliveries, etc. to try and, I guess, resupply their men, since we've beaten them completely in this initial stage of the invasion. So they're definitely going to have to replace these guys, get them supplies, etc. Let's see how they manage to do that, guys. Here we go, end of the logistics phase. And we should get a casualty report pretty soon, which I think is going to be pretty amazing, if I had to guess. Alright, some ground forces interdicted, so they are hitting some of our ground forces, it looks like. I can deal with that. And no, that's actually us interdicting their ground forces. Beautiful. So the air control, or air superiority we have right now is pretty good. Keep it up, boys. Bomb them to ashes. We must win this fight. There's beautiful Leningrad. I really want to take Leningrad, but I'm not moving on the Finnish front. So it's gonna have to be up to my actual German soldiers to get there if they want to make it. Otherwise, I am not heading over there. Make sure I can see you guys here. I'm just gonna refresh the page. Because I haven't seen any chatting. Hold on. Alright, there we go. So, let's take a look here, guys. Axis losses, we lost totally 39,377 men. That's killed, wounded, etc. So we've lost 10,731 men killed, 27,971 men disabled. Look at the Soviet losses, guys. 46,757 men killed, 265,715 men captured, and almost 150,000 wounded. I mean, that's huge. Absolutely huge. And of course, vehicles lost from all causes. It's just amazing to see how much money and, of course, manpower goes into a war like this, and how much is lost. You can understand why during a war, you know, it takes years for a country to actually make up for it. Sometimes it never does. So here we go. We're definitely going to keep on launching attacks here on the cut-off units, but we're going to get closer and closer to Vitebsk. And each month that goes by is going to make it a lot harder to get there. Got some more men surrendered. I don't think we have any room for these prisoners, to be honest with you. It's a little frightening to think about what might happen in that case. So I'm just going to take the standard approach to Vitebsk here. Of course, trying to attack across a river is not going to do us any favors. But we don't have much of a choice. Forward, Mena! This might be one of the few times that I attack head-on with some tanks. Unless I can somehow get through, which I don't think I can. But this tank does need some fuel anyway. We could try to cut off these units. Probably wouldn't be such a bad idea. And let's take this tank here. Gotta try to get these stragglers. They retreated. I don't care if it's an anti-tank unit. I think we can absolutely take it out. Come on, boys. Nice. Enemy surrendered. 1,589 surrendered. We're just using the motorized division here to wipe out the enemy. And once again, another unit surrendered. Stacks him up, men. Keep moving forward. So at this point, we're doing all right. And look at that. The Baranovichi population actually evacuated this town. So some of the people are starting to realize what's going on. And, you know, with or without the approval from Stalin, they are getting the hell out of here to try and avoid us. Let's keep on moving. At least we'll take Mogilev. I'm going to use these units to hunt these other stragglers here. Oh, it looks like the defending force is held. Can they hold against the second attack? I don't think so. Nice. And 564 casualties. That's more like it. We'll go ahead and try to finish them off here. Beautiful. 5,658 surrendered units. So this supply line is doing really, really well. I'm sure the engineers are helping tremendously. Leningrad will definitely be tough, says Crusading Templar. Hey, Wavel. Hey, Kalania. How you doing? And Pixel says Leningrad looks like a tough place to capture. It's going to be very tough. I don't think I've ever captured it in any of my War in the East Let's Plays. It's a tough nut to crack, man. Even if you're trying with the Finns and with German support, it's still tough to crack. So it's not necessarily something I'm going to go for. That being said, we do want to get to Mogilev and Vitebsk. So I hope we're getting closer and closer, and I think we are. Come on. Let's get to Minsk at least. And we want to bring this HQ up so that he's giving a lot of resupply points here to the rest of our infantry, or else they're not going to be able to keep moving. And at this point, this deep into Russia, they're probably starting to get a little concerned. That being said, you know, cities like Minsk, it's stuff like that, they are pretty modernized, so I don't think this is the Russia that we can call the steppes or anything like that. It's still not so bad. But they're getting concerned. They're definitely away from home. Not really worried about the guys down here in the south. Of course I am, but I don't want to deal with them. Let's keep moving. So this is a strong push towards Mogilev and Vitebsk. Although some armies are doing better than others, of course. No, it looks like these guys they're gonna have to wait. Why does that say 1332 though? It's a little weird. Okay, here we go. And I know this is not really worth anything, but Just want to make sure that this side of the river isn't under our control. And we'll try to chase some of the enemy tankers here. We are getting our men kind of unnecessarily bogged down in this swampy area. We don't really need to chase these guys, but you know what? Each Soviet soldier killed counts, so I don't feel too bad about that. But as you can see, just to move through these swamps, our movement points are not sufficient. This is a terrible area to try to move through, so some of these guys, we're just going to let them get away. As you can see, most of them are retreating already, so I want to bring these guys north for the attack on Vitebsk and Mogilev. Oh, come on, we can cut through here. I don't think we can. It's going to be a tough one, but we're going to try to cut through. If we can get around Mogilev with the Panzer Division here, it'd be pretty amazing. And obviously we do a lot of damage to their supplies, which is basically the key to winning the battle. What's this SS Division? I think they need more support. Let's send it forward, boys. Got another motorized division here. Although, as you can see, we don't really have a breakthrough point. And we need to find a breakthrough point if we want to send our motorized divisions through. So we're going to have to fight over this nasty, swampy ground. I'm sure this is where we're going to have a lot of casualties start happening. But we have no choice. Come on, let's go. Take a look here at the chat. I'm surprised the Russians are so far to the east beyond the Harris Group meet. I have no idea what that is. This is why we need history buffs in the stream so that they can explain this stuff. But yeah, we attacked them extremely quickly. We pushed back a large part of their army, and we encircled and captured a huge chunk of their army. So I think that's why they pushed back this far. I was also surprised at how far back they fell. Basically, it's going to take us an entire turn just to get to the front line, and already I'm making some mistakes here. I should not be sacrificing these motorized units just to take a little bit of ground. I definitely want to waste these Russian units so they don't mess with our rail lines, because right now we need the rail lines. Get off the rails! We're going to need the engineers to stop by here and fix these rails as well, I'm sure. I didn't want to move the HQ up, but it's going to have to anyway, I guess. There we go. Surrendered. 7,622. Absolutely wonderful. Keep moving forward. We'll review the attack completely, guys, at the end of this turn, so you guys can see our progress, and then we can decide if we're doing a good job or not. You can see a bunch of enemy HQs right there out in the open. That either means the Fog of War is hiding the soldiers hiding there, or they're using them as scouts, which is not a good idea. And hopefully we can capture a few generals. General Herr Oberst, yeah? Here we go. And now with these two divisions here, we're going to go for a major attack. Oh, we might have to wait. There we go. And yes, one of the divisions surrendered. The other rifle division retreated. They're not going to be able to harass us at least for a little bit. In the meantime, though, we might have to keep fighting through the swamps with some of these units. But some of them can get back to the front line. Good work, men. Just wait till the seasons start affecting us, guys. Things are about to get a lot tougher. If you guys see those white units behind us, those little white units with shovels, those are the engineers. they're coming to clean up the mess we've left, which is basically a lot of destruction. Of course, the enemy probably also sabotaged some of their own rail lines, things like that. And now they are tasked with cleaning all of that up. So fixing everything, etc. You can see there's a ton of them near the town of Brest-Litovsk. So totally makes sense why they're doing that. And we still have some men combing the marshes here to try and hit some stragglers. But it looks like that tank unit held. I might have to move in the SS Viking division. And the only reason I'm going to be moving this guy through the marshes is to cut off some more rail lines here. I don't think there's any enemies in front of us necessarily, but you can never be too sure. So we're going to have to go through Rovno, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, to push on this particular area here. I want to see, this is Zhytomyr, and there are so many Russian HQs here, and of course, Kiev. Kiev is hugely important. So we're going to try to take it, and at this point, I think just a straight-up attack is the most important thing to do. But we still have some tanks. We can still cut off some of the enemy. And remember, that's going to help big time. So let's cut off some of those rail lines and start moving forward, my friends. Für Deutschland! Alright, defending forces held. That was surprising. Will they hold now? I don't think so. Alright, the Lutsk population evacuates, so even more of the Russian population is evacuating. Now, they did manage to hold. I've got to give it to these guys. They did a pretty good job. They only killed 31 men, but they're still holding. That's the important part. And what else can we do here to disrupt the enemy? We could start going for the forts over here near Zhytomyr. Or we could just keep cutting them off on this end. It's tough to say. I think we'll actually look at Proshkorov first, because I think we can cut them off here at Proshkorov, and look at that. The Proshkorov population already evacuated to Yakutsk. So they are running quickly. Can't attack, but we can certainly look for opportunities to cut off the enemy. We might be getting a bit too close here, but I can't resist the temptation of cutting them off. Come on, men. Take no prisoners. Wait a minute. No, that did not go as planned. Now take no prisoners. And the division surrendered, 7,924. And I'm serious, an issue during this campaign would be just the massive amount of prisoners we have. How do we hold all these guys? Enemy actually held against that attack. Well done. Alright, we can also hold at this point. Again, I should be using this unit to cut off the enemy, but instead I got greedy there. These pockets are going to take a while to run out of resources. It's not like they just immediately run out of resources. It takes a while, and then probably a turn. They're not getting their food, they're not getting their ammo, and they start to realize that something is up. So we probably have to wait just a little bit longer before we carry out any severe or serious attacks. Let's go ahead and try to get rid of this guy, though. He is held for a long time. He's held again. Man, that is crazy. Alright, well, let's try again. So we're just attacking with everybody. And they finally retreated. 1,646 casualties, but man, they put a lot of hurting on our guys. I want to see if we can completely get rid of them. Good work. Retreated, or routed, I should say, in this case. They're going to try to run behind their lines. Light infantry group here. Let's just get them behind the enemy tank division. Yeah, we took quite a lot of cities, and some of them we took almost by accident. The enemy just basically wasn't there, so we essentially got to stroll in. Rovno is an example of that. Let's go ahead and try to take out this tank this one more time. But once again, we should hold. That being said, we did manage to take him out. I'll move this HQ up a little bit as well. Get these airfields closer. Okay, I think we've done everything we can. I'm going to keep on looking. So some of these divisions are starting to get the ability to start moving, but really we shouldn't mess around too much on this front. But I think putting, pressure on the enemy anywhere we can is good. So I'm going to try to at least take the town here. And maybe go for a combined attack against this fort. Might not be the greatest idea in the world. Romanian brigades and Romanian cavalry divisions. Here we go. Nice! We managed to actually take the fort near Chernotsky. I'm not sure if this is a major mistake, but of course now we can take the town of Chernotsky, and maybe even the town of Stanislav, as well as a few other towns over here under Soviet control. But yeah, I'll try to be careful on this front. I'm psyched that we were able to get a kill. Send the tanks in as well, start cutting them off. This is not expected. I think we can overrun this fort as well. Beautiful. Although they've got some bigger divisions here we want to watch out for. Let's go ahead and actually try to bomb that area. Come on. Oh, we're out of bombs. Not bad, though. Alright, let's go ahead and let's see what happens. Going for a major attack. Yeah, I'm definitely pushing my luck, but we managed to get them to retreat. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's keep the HQ back. Try to move some of our guys forward. It looks like getting across that river is a little bit tough. I don't know why. Alright, come on. Alright, Kishinev might soon be under our control as well. I want to see what you guys think about us taking these southern cities, because maybe it's not such a good idea. 33 viewers. Good to see everybody. Really good to see you guys. Okay, let's see. Going for this fort. And look at that, guys. Once again, we managed to get a fortified region to surrender here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be moving forward on this front, even though it's not really recommended because this front shifts quite quickly. I think we might be able to do okay here. We've got some NKVD border guard units, but besides that, I'm not really worried about anything on this front. Let's attack. Come on, boys! Alright, they held, but we definitely killed more of them. 255. Not bad at all. I also want to start bringing these security divisions forward when we can. These are Hungarian security divisions. And actually, we can look at that. We just took Stanislav, and the Stanislav population is evacuating. As you can imagine, evacuating population like this affects the enemy in a negative way. The same is true for games like the Operational Art of War 4, where if you basically, make a population evacuate, it's going to clog up the roads. People can't get through with their military vehicles. So everything gets tougher for the enemy. And at this point, we've just taken that city. That's a major city in this area. And we can keep trying to move past the enemy. So I'm going to send this guy... not to Proshgorov, maybe to Proshgorov. Yeah, I'll try to cut them off up here, actually. Why not? I should probably try to attack that fort, though. Eventually, anyway. Pretty nice. Alright, so we're going to zoom out just a bit to see how we're doing. So as you can see, we've got some pretty nice gains into Russia here. Just a nice big chunk. but we're still a ways away from Moscow. It still eludes us by quite a long time. No, don't exit this scenario. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we've got some SS divisions here, and I'm going to be chasing them through this area. As you can see, the Prinsk population evacuated. Good for us. Let's attack. And the enemy might actually have the advantage here in the swamps, although we didn't lose a single man, and we killed 416 of the enemy. So I'm going to attack again. Oh, they held, and this time they killed 9 of our SS men. Very sneaky. I see what you are doing, okay. Alright. Still got a lot of infantry to move here. And we'll move these guys over here. Try to engage these Russians. If we can't, it's not the end of the world. Nice. Wow. They took 6,000 prisoners there. Very nicely done. Go bring these air bases closer. Let's bring them to Vilnius as at least. Same with these HQs. Yeah, this HQ needs to be all the way up here. Got a lot of units that are kind of off the grid here. And as you can see, as the HQ gets closer, the color is going to change to blue. And that means they're now in supply once again. That's where we want them. As for this unit, where the heck do we want him? I guess over here. And actually, I see a tank there. Let's put him near the tank. Nice. And with this guy, he's going to move right there. But we're still just going to move directly east. I think that's where most of our men are needed anyway, so that is where we're headed. Boy, it would be terrible to be a German soldier in this predicament. Even a Russian soldier. I mean, being on either side during this particular conflict would be just awful. Okay, let's see. I might actually move forward just to get the enemy HQ to fall back. I think that's what I'll do. Here we go. And we'll also try to take out the enemy airfield. Look at that, we're already capturing a ton of fuel. So as you can see, they're leaving some units behind accidentally. And in their haste to escape, they are also leaving behind a lot of fuel and supplies. So that's great for us. Take that any day. We can also take all of these towns along the way. Towns like Aloxiene, I hope I'm saying that correctly. And we'll keep moving towards Riga. I love how Riga's under our control, but there's still enemies on the highway going to Riga. So this is our northernmost army, and I don't really expect them to do much. There's not much up here for us to take, except Leningrad, which I don't expect us to get to. I have much more confidence in our central army taking Vitebsk and Kiev. Let's go. Nice. Finally got that region to surrender. That took a while. And we'll send these guys north to finish off the rest of the Soviets. In fact, these guys probably have the easiest job. They're really just responsible for this area, and then they probably get 1 or 2 or 3 turns of rest. What about the security division? Moves them up a little bit into enemy territory. Okay. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Okay, let's get that HQ closer. Get him right up next to this unit. Now, he's also responsible for all of the engineer units, so we don't want to keep him too far away, but I think he's in an okay position here. We've also got this tank back here. We can't forget this guy. Alright, we should go towards, let's go towards the HQ areas here. And I think they're all going to scatter. There are so many HQs near Vitebsk. Look at that. Yep, get out of here. Go. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of tank units, so I'm going to back up just a little bit. Okay, let's just hope that our guys get resupplied. And it's really Army Group Center that's doing most of the work. This is the one that was led by Siri and Pixel last turn. So they've done an excellent job, honestly. Couldn't hurt to push Dnestr and maybe try to take Odessa, says Pixel. That is a good idea. I like your way of thinking very much. Let us go take a look at all of our wonderful fronts. There is beautiful Odessa. Odessa's got a lot of oil as well, so I think he's right. I think we could push our luck. We've already gotten this far. Although, it's weird. These units, the Romanian infantry divisions, their movement is terrible. I don't know why that is, because this is open ground. But their movement, it takes them a long time to walk anywhere. And it could just be the bureaucracy of the Romanian army at the time, which was not very good and probably still isn't very good. But whatever it may be, it takes a long time to actually make it to Odessa. Of course, that would be an awesome win. Awesome little victory for us. Want to make sure we moved everybody up. Oh, we still got an infantry division here. Okay, I think we're going to have to wait a turn or two until they get completely tired. Bring it on, boys. And look at that, more populations evacuating. I think we could probably take the fort out. If we can, we might as well go for it. Let's see. We can go for it. No, I don't think we can. That's too bad. Okay, we'll move this guy in over here. Might be able to get some of the wounded to retreat. Yep, sure enough. And I'll also move this guy through here as well. Although he's getting quite far away from his general, so no, we're going to have to send him back to Vitebsk, but he's going to have to cut through the swamps just to get there. And we've got this guy too. Make your presence known on the road to Mogilev and Vitebsk. There we go. It's a hell of a drive. Nicely done, though. He managed it. And this guy is in the Neman swamps. Much smaller swamp than the Pripyat swamps, of course. The Pripyat marshes, actually. There we go. Alright, this turn they retreated. Next turn, I think they're going to surrender. As long as everything goes well. And once again, we can take out some more units here. We could get closer to Odessa, though, but it's pretty far away. Let's do this. Try to kill one of the enemy security divisions. Beautiful. Enemy routed. 129 routed. Take these villages over here. And let's see if we can go for the fort. I don't think we can, but it's a start. So yeah, we're definitely pushing on the Hungarian front, or the Romanian front, which is not something I've really done before. I usually don't do anything on this front. I just basically hold out and defend. But since the Russians have pulled back so much, it kind of gives us a little opportunity to perform pretty well here. And look at this, we've even got an air landing division. Basically a paratrooper division here. That's definitely surprising. Attack. Alright, enemy forces held. That's definitely not surprising. Okay, I think we're going to end the turn. Turn it over to the enemy. Move some more guys up, though. And what's this? The Slovakian Corps. Interesting. So we've got a tiny Slovakian Corps here. Not many men, but maybe enough to make the difference. General Bolanic. And sorry guys, I will take a look at your comments, but as you guys can see, this game requires a lot of concentration and a lot of different movements, so sometimes it's going to take just a little while. Do apologize. Okay, let's get this guy over here. This is the main commander here of the Slovakians. Well, the Slovakian Air Command, anyway. Now, I'm not sure how useful that actually is, but we'll soon find out. Speaking of the Slovakian Air Command, let's carry out some missions. Not a single enemy lost. Okay, let's get back to our regular attacks there. I think that's pretty much all we can do for now. And we'll turn it over to the enemy, guys. I'm going to go grab some water. I'll be back in 2-3 hours. No, I'll be back in a few minutes. Even less, actually. Here we go. Okay, let's see what the Russians have managed to do. They're probably bolstering defenses at this point, but only time will tell. Alright, let's take a look here at these losses. 573,000 losses for the Soviets. I love it. And 347,000 men captured. It's just getting better and better. But of course, we still got a lot of work to do. We are close to Vitebsk, though, so at this point, that's where I'm headed. Get right up there on the Vitebsk front lines and try to make a difference. Give some hell, boys. Oh, this is where things are going to start getting a little tougher. And as you can see, movement is definitely slowing down for us. But first thing I'm going to do is try to cut off all these HQs. And we're already cutting off some more rail lines. Not many, but hopefully enough to make a difference. And look at that, we captured 13 tons of fuel. And that's because the Air Force had to run away extremely quickly. But yeah, getting to this area is going to take a while. I don't think we're going to just get there in a few turns. Even this guy, look at that. Just to move that, those 2 squares, it's going to cost him 8 movement points. Alright, I'm going to take my tank for this attack. Let's go for another one. Come on. We've got to take this position. Beautiful. So already one of the enemy units is retreating. Although we shouldn't be doing attacks like this too often. Well, the tank's doing really well. Nice. Hey, why stop while you're ahead, right? Oh, this guy definitely deserves an Iron Cross. I think that's going to be the end of his attack, at least for this turn, but that wasn't bad. So if we can actually break through just by using our tanks as basically battering rams and still send them through, that's going to work out great. I'm not sure if that's going to work, though, in the long run. So for now, we'll try to cut them off this way. Bring in some more guys for the attack, if we're even going to attack. SS Polizei Division. They're not going to be able to get here in time, I don't think. Or at least they won't have enough movement points to carry anything out. Well, let's see. Maybe they can. No, they cannot assist. That's too bad. Okay, fair enough. Fire on the security division there, and I knew they were going to retreat almost immediately. They were a little too far from the front to be of any use. The border's like 450 to 500 kilometers to the west at this point. Keep it up, boys. Heats the security divisions. Good job. And let's move this nice big chunk of infantry. Try to get rid of this fort. There we go. Beautiful. A bunch of them surrendered. A lot retreated. Point is, we've taken the town of Ventspils, which I'm surprised is not considered a main town, because it is a pretty important port on the Baltic Sea. And there we go. We've gotten the other group to rout, but I think we can actually get these guys to surrender with another attack or two. Alright, keep moving, boys. With this unit, I'm actually just going to take all these towns that we missed. Might as well. Alright, so I think Mogilev is definitely going to be our first target. I really want to go this way because of all the HQs there, but nah. We'll stay on the road to Mogilev. Make the right decision here. We need everyone we can get for this particular assault. And even this might not be sufficient to, you know, break through and keep on going. So hopefully we get some reinforcements from Berlin. I'm not sure we're going to be getting any reinforcements, though. Probably some replacements, but that's about it. Come on, boys. So next turn, we should be able to assault Mogilev. I don't know if we can break through, but we can definitely start assaulting it. Okay, let's get this guy closer to his men. And we'll take a look here at the chat. Sorry, guys, I've been paying attention to the game a lot. Hey, the Turk, how you doing? Yes, Flashpoint Campaigns is a great series. This game, War in the East, is great. I got it a few months ago, waited for the Christmas sale. It was like 25 bucks. Yes, it is, the Turks. One of my favorite series that we have here. Just awesome. Yeah, War in the East so far is honestly my favorite, to be perfectly honest with you, so... And that's just because it's probably the one with the most sort of close combat situations. Obviously, War in the West, I think, is great if you're sort of an air war kind of guy or just a micromanagement kind of guy. There's a lot of micromanagement in War in the West. And also the Pacific, War in the Pacific Admirals Edition is definitely huge for people that like naval warfare, that sort of thing. It's absolutely amazing for that sort of thing. But I think War in the East, in my opinion at least, is the best for the ground combat. There's just so much going on all the time. Let's take a look, make sure we moved everybody. I think we have. So I gotta move these units. And then we end the turn. Yeah, let's go this way. Okay. Plenty of infantry over here as well. Should move. There we go. Yeah, we got a few more moves out of them. Perfect. And these guys are right there near Vitebsk. So they're actually going to be the first to make contact. I thought it was going to be our Army Group Center, but probably not. It's probably going to be that group. The Pink Army. Yes, it is the Pink Army. They're pretty brutal, though, so don't write them off. Alright, let's go grab these guys. Our good old-fashioned Pink Army and start moving them up to the front. Wow, look at that. See, there's no way we could take Leningrad. It's more heavily defended than anything on the Western Front right now. They're more afraid of losing Leningrad than losing any other city here. Okay, we still have some SS units that could cut through here. Do some damage, of course. And I'm just going to let the SS units move through the swamps. The rest of the units should not move through these swampy areas. Incredibly, there are a lot of rail lines through here, and I don't want the enemy controlling them. So we're going to try to get rid of as many as possible. We'll also move these units directly to the front there with Mogilev. March all day, boys. Okay, let's see if this guy can move. No, not at all. Okay, we definitely want to get this HQ close. As you can see, all of these units are red. That means they're out of supply. So we've got to get this guy closer to them. And even over here, he's not providing much. But I think this unit is going to provide them a lot of supply. There we go. That's how it should be. Every single time, the unit is happy when he's next to his father, the HQ. It's the most important thing. Let's get this guy up as well. Here we go. Oh, come on. Why can't you guys run a little bit faster? I think that's somewhat better. Get this guy up here close to the tank. Although there's a lot of enemies here to be worried about. Then again, if we lose General Schmidt, I'm not going to be completely sad. He's not that great. Alright, enemy retreated. Get out of here. Come on, surrender. Nice. 6,000 surrendered units. And we can start moving these guys forward. And look at this. We've got a lot of guys over here. We shouldn't leave them behind, should we? So let's go ahead and move them up to Minsk. As you can see, if you're not paying attention like completely to the battlefield in this game, you will forget some divisions, and it can be a real pain. I'm going to have to bring that HQ up as well. You can see the orange around the HQ, which lets us know that these guys are connected to it, so I'm immediately going to move that guy up. And we'll move the rest of the units up as well. So much potential there. Come on, men. And while this is all happening, the engineers are behind us, the unsung heroes of the battle, just fixing all those railroads, all the towns, etc. Thank you, engineers. Okay, let's see. And we've still got plenty of fighting to do over here. These are the enemies that were cut off initially, so hopefully we can take them home as prisoners this time. Not bad, we got them to retreat, but they're still not surrendering. At least not easily. Come on, give up. Lower your arms. Wow, they're still fighting. Come on, guys. Unbelievable. Got to give it to these guys. Pretty tough, pretty resilient. But I don't think they're going to hold out forever. And once again, look at that. Another one surrendered. 6,000 men surrendered all at once. This is the beauty of cutting off an enemy army. When they have nowhere to go, they're forced to surrender. There's just nothing else they can do. Let's go over here. Unless, of course, they can fight you off for a few turns, which they occasionally can. Alright, major attack here, guys. And look at that, 16,000 units giving up right there. Grab this guy as well. Just going to totally finish them off. 958, not bad. And there we go, nearly 8,000 men surrendered. We just have to keep on doing that all across the front. Although we should be using this guy to actually cut off the enemy over here. So let's move the tank. Otherwise, we can keep on moving forward here. Do the same here. Broshorov. And I'm actually going to try to destroy that fort. And I think we took it out with a tank, and we got 600 men in the fort to surrender. Let's cut them off there as well. So these forts are actually along the rail line, I guess, trying to defend it in a last-ditch effort. Nice, got rid of another one, guys. And nearly completely cut off these units as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for these guys. And there we go. Shepetovka population has evacuated. We've had so many evacuations here by the civilian population. Let's get rid of that fort. Wow, they actually held. All right, enough being enough Mr. Nice Guy, as it were. I'm just gonna go straight for the attack here. There we go. They've surrendered. That's the right decision. And I want to put a unit here by Proshkorov. Looks like they managed to hold on a bit. I think these guys will give up this turn, though. Alright, so they're retreating. Although these guys, for instance, we can basically just go ahead and do a major assault, and nobody's going to be able to escape. Oh, wow. They actually managed to retreat, but not without losing 1,447 men. And now they are completely finished. There we go. And surrendered. We have so many guys as prisoners right now. Way more guys as prisoners than casualties. So we're certainly going to be getting a lot of information about what the enemy has in terms of manpower, personnel, weapons, etc. Keep moving forward, boys. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's see what we can do with this tank. So, ideally I want to get behind them here, but there's a lot in the way. So I'm going to keep trying to take out these little forts. And they're nothing more than just kind of a minor annoyance. But, you know, 700, 600, 500 guys surrendering every time for doing absolutely nothing. That's pretty good. Let's take a look here at the chat, guys. 1 second. I'm pretty sure this is the original War in the East. I mean, unless maybe I'm not sure about the original myself. But I'm also playing with a lot of modifications, or not modifications, but DLC. So I'm actually not sure. I'm pretty sure this is the original, but I couldn't say with 100% certainty. All right, let's keep going. Now, again, I've said this before, but for those of you that didn't hear it, don't travel through these swamps. The Pripyat swamps are the worst place to go through. The only reason I'm going through them is because there are rail lines there, and I also want to try and capture all of the retreating enemy units. As you can imagine, as the war goes on against Russia, all of those retreating units, if you don't capture them, they eventually reform into much stronger units, and then you've got yourself a pretty serious problem. Here we go. Oh, nice! We got them to surrender. Our Romanian cavalry brigade took some prisoners. Who says cavalry is totally useless? No way. And at the same time, we'll cut off some more rail lines here. Just cause mass confusion amongst the lines. Alright, let's go for Kishinev. Be awesome to take that city. Liberate Kishinev from the Reds! Good work. Only 141 men. Wow, that was a really small border guard division. And we're actually moving in with the Romanian infantry division to establish control of this area. Let's take this town as well, Dubosari. I'm not sure, I know quite a lot about the Eastern Front, but the southern part of the Eastern Front, I'm not sure how the people reacted when the Romanians arrived. I'm sure they didn't react well. But perhaps there were some Romanian enclaves here along the border. I'm not 100% sure either way. I would be quite curious to find out. Obviously, when the Germans arrived, most Russians were not happy at all, with the exception of a few essentially pro-fascist Belarusians. And that was, I think, a pretty significant minority. Here we go. Attack. Let's see. What is this guy doing all the way over here? Well, we'll move him up. They just kind of went AWOL and did whatever they wanted for a few weeks. Yeah, we'll get back to the war later. So they should be all the way here. Wow. They took a big trip around those mountains. Try to take this town here as well. Next to the Dniester River. I believe that's correct. The Dniester. Dniester. Alright, and I'm also going to try to attack the fort right there. Let's see if we can wipe out the guys inside. And sure enough, 852 men surrendered. Looks almost like this front is sort of a cardboard front in that, you know, it's all bark and no bite. It looks tough, but actually when you start moving forward, we're taking these towns without any fight whatsoever. So I think we should keep on pushing, and I think the main defense is going to be at Vinica for this particular front. They don't really care if we move forward and take this area over here. They're more concerned with us taking Vinica and places like that. I mean, Kishinev was essentially left open, so we really had nothing to do in terms of getting in there. It's pretty easy. Attack. Alright, what else to do, man? Get him next turn, and we'll move this guy out. Alright, let's take a look here at the super chat. Oh, sorry. Siri says, I-Corps with Modal as commander, and all the pioneers and artillery can breach Leningrad usually. Nice. Let's take a look here. That tank division put up a really good fight. Yeah, we've got a few Russian divisions here that are actually managing to put up an all-right defense against our attacks. And it's kind of surprising. I think at this point, speaking of Russians, I think we're going to turn it over to them. Just let me move these two infantry divisions. And then we'll get it over to the Russians. Obviously, taking Vitebsk would be really cool. I don't know if we can do it. We'll have to wait and see. Get these HQs right up next to their men. Probably also wouldn't be a bad idea to get some security divisions nearby over here. Let me see if we can send anybody up here for the job. I just don't want anybody getting behind our lines, so I'm going to send this security division right here. Just to kind of hang out in this area. Alright, let's end the turn. Okay, so you can see they're actually delivering cargo via aircraft to a lot of different locations here. Alright, it's the Russians' turn. I don't think they've got any counterattacks up their sleeve, but I think they've got more reinforcements from the east that they're going to be bringing here to defend their main cities. If I had to guess, of course. Okay, I want to get those casualties up to 1 million. We're getting close. 657,000 on the Russian side and only 60,000 on our side. We basically have as many casualties as the Americans did in the entire War of Vietnam, and the Russians have, well, Russian-style casualties for sure. There's a lot of men there in trouble. So in the meantime, I'll keep on clearing up the prisoners, essentially, here in the swamps, the Pripyat swamps. The stragglers, and I think we got that guy to surrender. Yep, 6,000 prisoners. We'll also send a few of our units through the swamps to cut off some more rail yards and try to encircle as many Russians as possible. But what I'm really excited about is Mogilev. We are getting very close to Mogilev at this point. We could start attacking the city itself, but it's a very, very easily defendable area. So the enemy is going to have a lot of guys defending, and as you can see, there's a river right behind it. So all the enemy essentially has to do is get behind that river, and they are pretty much defended from a lot of the damage we could otherwise do here. So we've got to hope that our initial attacks are done properly to actually even break through this area. Let's see, can we move this guy? No, we can't. See, it's even hard for our vehicles to get through this swampy area. We really have to leave everything up to our infantry for this attack. Come on, men. Ooh, no, that's not going to work. Wait a minute, this might work. The Mogilev population has evacuated. That doesn't mean we're gonna win, but it means they think we could win, and they have retreated. I definitely want to get some guys into that square if I can. We might not be able to, but it would be very, very important to get them in there. Can't refit anybody now. Oh, man. I don't think we can. So they could easily retake Mogilev. We'll just have to fight them off again. That's frustrating, but I knew that was going to happen. On this front, things can get really tough. Defending forces held. Get rid of that HQ. Let's go this way with our tank divisions. Beautiful. And I think we can definitely charge across here pretty easily to Vitebsk. Let's get the tank division to push forward here. And let's see if we can get an attack on the enemy HQ. Nope, looks like we can't. We're going to have to wait a turn or two at least. There we go. Come on, get the HQ, boys. Nice. Look at that, guys. We got the enemy to retreat, including their HQ, and Vitebsk is right there. So we've just got to keep on putting pressure on them. Let's get another unit up here. I hate putting them on that river tile, but we don't have much of a choice. Come on, boys. Oh, that was awesome. Look at that. A bunch of guys retreated. The division itself in the actual bunker surrendered. Looks like we got some enemy paratroopers here as well. That's something you don't see every day. Some Soviet paratroopers behind the lines. And they retreated. Nicely done. Gotta give it to them. So I expected just to waltz in there, but not that simple. And of course, attacking across the river there, not too smart. Luckily, we only took 4 casualties. But in any sane, reasonable world, we would have just gotten completely crushed there. Take this guy out of the equation. And if we could break through down here, that would be amazing. Allowing us to basically move up from here and attack all of these rail lines. Oh! Did we do it, guys? I think we may have. Let's actually see. These guys can't really move, though. They're going to have to wait at least a turn. Alright, let's get this unit over here. Where the heck is that HQ? Let's get that HQ right on top of these guys. And yeah, I mean, we're still going to be moving with this infantry unit over here anyway. But getting the enemy, or behind the enemy with our motorized units would be amazing. Especially this huge group of soldiers around Mogilev. I mean, imagine taking all of these guys prisoner. I think we could end the war. The war would essentially be over. Alright, let's get the tanks. Why can't you move? Okay, I'm going to keep the HQ back. And let's try to charge across the water if we have enough attack points. I don't think we do. We've got to wait another turn. But at least we're completely in the zone, as it were. Come on, boys. Get these HQs over here. Look at that, guys. So we've taken Mogilev, essentially. Smolensk is there. Vitebsk is there. But we still have a lot to push forward if we want to keep on taking these locations. And I think we probably need to take one of them and then work down, either up or down, from that location to be able to get a victory here. Let's put our guys here. Hold on a second. Let's go for an attack. Not bad. 186 enemies lost. Only 20 lost on our side. So maybe just some consistent attacks here might be a good idea. Alright, let's see. Hold on one second. Attack over here, and I think we can get these guys to run. Sure enough. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Really putting up quite a resistance in this area. So all we did there was scout. We didn't even attack. Wow, paratrooper jumped. Agrippa's going to clean up the swamp. Thank you. I hope so. See that Trump reference there? Attack. We're gonna drain the swamp. That attack did not go well. Okay, this is weird. Hold on. Yeah, we had a crash. That's okay. I always like to actually just jump through before the end of the stream anyway, and show you guys the additional stuff that you can purchase for this game. Basically, the additional DLC. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. If anybody has any questions on upcoming games, feel free to let me know. One of the upcoming games we have right now is Wars of Succession, of course. Which is an Agiod game. Should be pretty awesome. I can't wait to play it. I have yet to play it myself. Obviously, if you guys want to grab some action outside of our current streams, you can always jump to my YouTube channel here. Really appreciate it if you drop there. And I'll, of course, go ahead and give you guys a look here. Just a look. I'm actually going to go ahead and play a little bit of one of the DLC scenarios. So I want to make sure you guys are seeing this, first of all. The intro to the game is already pretty cool, but let's jump into one of these DLC scenarios right here. And keep in mind, you don't have to play as the Axis. You could play as the Soviets if you want. I just prefer to play as the Axis because I kind of like to start from the beginning. But if we go down here, for instance, we've got the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. Now, this is really fun for a Soviet player. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and be Soviet human just because I want to take a look at it. And obviously, there are a number of scenarios you can purchase, or DLC you can purchase, that add these scenarios to the game. So let's jump into the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign. You can see it's 130 turns. As you can see, we've also got weather effects here, so there's some major blizzards. And look at our position as the Soviets. This is intense. You can see that the defenses of the enemy are pretty incredible, and so are our units and the amount of our attack power we've got here. We've got the Guards Tank Brigade, and as you can see, I can do a major attack here, just a huge attack. Let's see what happens. Oh my god, 37 men down on our side, 697 Germans down, and we're going to attack again here in a second. But this just goes to show you the immense scale of some of these scenarios. Now, if you prefer, like, smaller scenarios, personally, I prefer smaller scenarios because I don't always have the time, to play an entire one. There are several scenarios that are just a few turns long, but these are the ones that I really like. The ones that actually make me try and consider whether or not I could accomplish the task that wasn't accomplished for a particular army during that time. So I played this scenario, for instance, from the perspective of the Germans, just to see how long I could hold the Russians back. And let me tell you, it was not a very long time. Let's jump over here. March to Glory stream, says Dave Jeju. Oh, absolutely. The Patton tanks were bad, indeed. Yeah, not the best. The Patton tanks are kind of meh. So actually, if I go ahead and jump to the main menu here, I want to give you guys an example of, like, scenario I recommend for new players. Any day now, Agrippa. Come on. Yeah, we'll exit the scenario. So, right now we're playing Axis Computer. So, actually wouldn't work too well for Axis Computer. There we go. Okay. So, for instance, I believe it's Operation Blue. And this is actually just... No, this is actually 25 turns. Is that Bagration? Or 20 turns, anyway. Bagration is pretty good, too. Now, this was the Soviets' 1944 summer offensive. So if you're a newer player and you want to play as the Soviets, I would highly recommend this scenario. It's only 9 turns, and what you need to do is basically push as deep into enemy territory as possible. Once you do that, of course, you win the scenario. So I'd highly recommend this one for a new player that wants to play from the Soviet perspective. We've got to find the German one, because there is a German one in here for sure. There we go, Case Blue. So as you can see, the scenario length is 3 turns, and this is what I would recommend for the new German player. Again, you can get either of those in just the regular campaigns, but if you get the DLCs, you get all this extra stuff, Vistula to Berlin, Winter 1942-43, etc., which makes for some really, really fun Let's Play. And Pixel is asking, am I looking forward to playing Wars of Succession tomorrow? Oh yeah, big time. I'm a huge AG Odds fan, as many of you guys know, so I can't wait to play some Wars of Succession tomorrow. Let's see how we do, and of course we're going to have to decide who we're going to play as, and I think that I'm probably going to be playing as Peter the Great, initially at least, in the war against the Swedish, the Great Swedish War. For those of you that don't know what that's about, that's essentially Peter the Great wanted to build a port in modern-day St. Petersburg, but that port was also controlled by the Swedish, and this would allow Russia to essentially get, a route to the ocean, and make them a seafaring nation, giving them a lot of power, of course. So it's a pretty awesome war, and I think I'm going to play as the Peter the Great's alliance, because I know a few other countries fought with him, and fight the Swedes. Or maybe we'll play as the Swedes, I'm not sure. But we'll obviously check that out tomorrow, guys. I hope to see you all there. And the stream tomorrow is going to be an hour earlier than it was today, so make sure to be there on time. I know I will, and thank you so much, as always, for stopping by. Take care, guys, and have an awesome, awesome day.